Most coaches don't know how to promote their businesses. They feel like, oh, maybe this is a bad thing. Like, I don't want to be too pushy. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how do you promote your coaching business? Because I know a lot of great coaches out there are like, I just want to be authentic, but I still need to get out there. I need people to see me so that they can buy from me. It's like Grant Cardone says, they can't flow me if they don't know me. They can't send me their money. I can't make any transactions happen with somebody who's never heard of me before. So I just want to, preface this by saying a lot of what I'm going to cover in this video is so common sense, but it is absolutely shocking how many people just don't do this. So one of these, we'll start with number one. The main one is publish content daily. And a lot of people are like, well, I've been trying to, you don't try anything, dude. Let's be honest. You don't try anything. You either do it or you don't do it. That's it. That's all that matters. Oh, well, I tried. What do you mean you tried? Check your screen time. Were you on social media for 4 hours yesterday? Did you really try to post anything in those 4 hours, or did you just look at other people's stuff? So let's just be real. Let's be accountable. Let's be responsible here. So I'm going to break this down so that if you're watching this video, no matter what, you will never have an excuse for the rest of your life as to why you're not publishing content every single day of the week, including Sundays. Just so you guys know, today is Sunday. I am filming long form YouTube videos. And it's not because my family's not important. It's not because my health isn't important. It's because this is also important. What could be better than the opportunity to get in front of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or maybe even millions of people who could potentially have their lives impacted by what you do as a coach? There's literally nothing. So publishing content daily, I'm going to give you guys a simple roadmap. One of the easiest ways to get this done: film 2 or 3 long form videos. Those should be between 20 and 30 minutes. I find typically 12 to 20 minutes is satisfactory if the messaging is tight and the value is there. You don't want to spend 20 minutes talking and there's one good thing in there. It's got to be 20 minutes of badass content, information, things that will help people. And a good framework for this is make your free content so good, people feel like they should have paid to watch it. If they get done and they're like, man, I can't believe I got that for free, you're doing it right. If they got done and they don't remember, which is what happens with most people's content, yeah, come on, man. So look, make it so good they wish they had paid for it, number one. The second thing is you need to have these long forms, because the more time people spend with you, the more likely they are to buy. I'll tell you guys a quick story. A year ago, I sold somebody on a $100,000 coaching offer. And the crazy thing about this deal is it was one of the longest times I'd ever spent with anybody at one single time. The client flew to where I was at in Copenhagen, Denmark. And while we were there, I met up with him for lunch. Then we went to the gym. After the gym, we walked through the city. I went back to my hotel and I showered. He went back to his hotel and he showered. And then we met up again for dinner. We spent about 8 hours together over the course of that one day. He wired $92,000 the next day. We gave him a discount because he was paying in full, actually paid in crypto. And so I spent 8 hours. That's like 10,000 bucks an hour. Who here would spend 8 hours with somebody to make $10,000 an hour? Everybody would do that, right? But the thing is, I knew before that guy got there, I knew that he would buy if I just gave him the attention he needed. He was one of those people, I was like, he just needs attention. He needs somebody to see in him what he sees in himself, because his whole life, he's an older guy, his whole life he's gone out on his own. Nobody's been there. It's been him. He's like actually like mining. He was a miner. He's literally going into the desert, digging holes, and then getting a bunch of people there and mining aluminum and copper and stuff like that. So I knew this guy's mentality going into this. I was like, this guy needs somebody to pay attention. But I also knew that he had already watched hours and hours and hours of content prior to that. And here's the key with long form. Consistency matters more than the length. You'll have some long form that's 8 minutes that will crush. You'll have some that are an hour or 2 hours that will crush. The main thing to keep in mind is people should feel like it's as good as or better than stuff they've actually paid for online. And the second piece of this is your short form content. Now, there's some tools out there you can use. There's Riverside, which is a podcasting platform, and there's also Opus Clips. Now, you can put this content into either of those platforms and have it clip out with AI short form videos from your long form content. So if you're like, oh, how do I film long form and short form and this, and now I got to do this things, just make it easy on yourself. Use the software that can clip out the short clips, then post those. 65% of people prefer clips that are 21 seconds or shorter for short form. So make sure that you're thinking through, okay, I'll have to test, because some 1 minute long videos will do better than 21 seconds, but I have to test. Is it impactful? Is this short video as impactful as if somebody watched a 1 minute? As an example, I have a video, a short form video. I had 200 subscribers at the time. It got 1,200 views. And it was about 15 seconds. I said, Sun Tzu said it's better to be a warrior and a gardener than a gardener in war. And then I made some kind of pithy comment at the end. I had said something like, something about not being a wuss, basically. But that video got me six times as many views as I had subscribers at the time. I was like, awesome, this is good. So that short video did well. It was short, to the point, and it drew authority from somebody else. But I have also had longer content, a minute long, where I break down some kind of complex sales psychology thing, and that will perform equally as well. So the idea is not to only have 21-second videos. The idea is to have a range, because some things you can say in 21 seconds, some things you can't. Any of you that are actually subscribed, you'll see my shorts. I have a mix. There's gym stuff, there's travel stuff, and then there's like actual training stuff, real sales, real marketing, real business related things. You want to make sure that you don't become the person that everybody gets annoyed at because they're like, oh, here he goes again about this thing. So you should have a range of things. One of the guys I used to work with, I was traveling the world with him, Ty Lopez. He had a pie chart, and there was a certain percentage of posts that were business, a certain percent were psychology, some were guess her age or guess her ethnicity, some were animals on the farm, some were just farm work, some were sales, some were this. So make a little pie chart for yourself. If you're unsure what to do, get into ChatGPT and just say, hey, here's the things I'm interested in. I want to build my brand. I want it to be interesting to people. I want them to see what I'm doing and be inspired by it. But I also want it to, actually generate results for me. I want to get views. I want to get likes. I want to get shares. And ultimately, I want those to turn into real leads in my business, real clients that are paying me. Mine, I figured out, I was like, my life is very simple. It's like I get up and go to the gym. I do cardio, I hit the sauna, I come home, I work, I spend some of my time cold calling, I spend some of my time filming, I spend the rest of my time on meetings on Zoom or Google or webinars, and then I spend some time studying and reading, and then I go to sleep and I repeat it all over again, 7 days a week. So the way I've put my content plan together is all around the fact that that's my life. My life is very routine. I enjoy it that way. I enjoy eating the same meals 7 days a week. And so you want to make sure that when it comes to posting, don't just post to post, but actually have a strategy behind it. Say, okay, who am I as a person? What is it that I like about me? What is it that I think about that I can share with people that will add value to their lives? What can I do that will inspire my potential clients? What can I do that will kind of shake things up a little bit, get people a little upset? If you guys notice a lot of my short form content, the first line, and this is a great tip for you guys when it comes to posting content, the first line of the copy, so on YouTube it's a title and then there's a description. On Instagram there's just the caption. TikTok, just the caption. Same with LinkedIn, the other platforms. The first line is always a little bit polarizing. It's always a little bit kind of like poking the bear. Like I'm looking for people to randomly comment just based off of that first line, because their comments, either hell yeah brother or oh my god what a loser, like that kind of stuff drives it up in the algorithm. So make sure when you're posting, think through, okay, content is good. Now when it comes to the actual copy that I'm writing for this, I need to make sure that it's polarizing. I need to make sure it's a little controversial. I need to make sure that it catches attention. A good way of thinking about this is the first line of copy is the last line of defense before they swipe away. If you're taking notes, by the way, it'd be a great thing to write down. The first line of copy is the last line of defense before they swipe away. Now, before we get on to the second point, for those of you that are interested, I have a training. I took the last 15 years of my sales experience doing over $25 million in one-to-one sales. I condensed it to 23 videos. It's in the description below. If you look in the description, there's a link, stealthcloser.com/start. Go click that link. Okay, and here's what I'm going to tell you guys. As coaches, you have to be addicted to learning. I am constantly buying new books. I'm constantly buying new trainings. I'm constantly signing up for new programs, new masterminds, new in-person events, new webinars, new things. Make sure that you never get to a point where you're comfortable. You always have a disaster when you get comfortable. So always be pushing yourself. And I'm not just saying this for you guys to get my own course. If you don't like it, get somebody else's. Just make it a habit that you see it, you see the value, you buy it, because you want your customers to behave the way you behave. If you buy fast, your customers will buy faster. It's just, if your expectation in your mind is, if it's good, I'd buy it, guess how easy it is to convince your customers of the same thing. So when I say to you guys, you should check this out because I have a lot of experience and I can actually help you, you should also think about how it affects you psychologically. Well, if I see it and I buy it and I get results, I can very easily convey to my customers, hey, look, man, sometimes you just have to jump. Sometimes you just have to not be scared and just take action, because if the thing in front of you makes sense, the money will take care of itself. Just get in and get started. That's the hardest part. And you could do that right now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to think. You don't have to call your wife and call God and do all this crazy stuff. So when I call you guys to action, by the way, part of that is actually teaching you guys how to better sell your own people, how to get your own clients. And so if you're interested in that, check that out. The link's in the description, stealthcloser.com/start. And if not, just subscribe to the channel. I'm giving away some of the stuff for free. Some of you guys aren't in a place yet to spend money. I know when I first started, I wasn't. I had to donate plasma for 3 months to buy event tickets. And then at the event, I could only eat hot dogs because I didn't have any money. If you're not in a place yet where you can sign up for things and stuff like that, just subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna give you guys enough stuff here that if you're just starting out, you can start making some money and start really seeing that your business is viable and that it can produce an income for you. Now, the second point on this, on promoting your coaching business, okay? So you're posting content, right? You're putting out long form, you're putting out short form. And one last note on that, by the way, make sure that you have a call to action on your posts. Set up something like ManyChat, or literally just have people DM you. Say, DM me the word strength to learn how to add 50 pounds to your bench press in the next 2 weeks, something like that, right? So make sure every post has a CTA. And by the way, sometimes you'll have a post where only 6 people see it, but 2 of them DM you that word because it was the right 2 people at the right time for that specific offer. And a good rule of thumb for CTAs is keep it consistent across a lot of posts before you change it. You might have to post 30 or 40 times to see how good the CTA is, because some people might not scroll down and see the CTA. That's just the truth. So be prepared to use the same CTA for a while. Again, put some thought into it. Now, the second thing about promoting your coaching business is you need to be able to gather people into one space to optimize your time. A good way of thinking about this is if you sell one-to-one, you might be able to make $1,000 an hour. If you sell one-to-many, you might be able to make $100,000 an hour. What do you like better? 1 hour with one person or 1 hour with 500 people? Okay, it's pretty obvious. This makes sense. Now, if you're just starting in the coaching space, hosting something like a webinar or like a free Zoom call is going to be a little bit challenging because you might not have a big audience. So what I would recommend is if you're just getting started, find somebody who's just a little bit further ahead than you and partner with them for a webinar. Now, do not create like an LLC together. Don't do that stuff. Just say, hey, look, I got a contract. Why don't we do this? 50-50 on this. We both promote this. We both push people. I'll text people. I'll email people. I'll post on my socials. You do the same. Let's try and get as many people as possible onto this, and then we'll do a joint offer at the end. We'll sell something, or maybe it's just one of your guys' offers, and we'll sell something and then blah, blah, blah. Now, the best way to do this, by the way, is to partner with somebody who is either in your industry where you guys can combine your two offers into one like mega offer, or somebody who supports your industry. So if you do sales training, you could partner with a marketer that you guys give them the sales and marketing black book. If you're in, HR services, you might partner with somebody who does operational training. So not only are you going to get more employees, but you're also going to be able to train them faster and get them making you money faster. Mega bundle. So when you're first starting, an easy hack is to just look at the market. Say, hey, who is somebody that I like them, seem like they got a good personality, we could test a deal together. But they should be further ahead than you so that most of the audience is coming from them to start. And by the way, you could do this once a week. Imagine doing this, okay? Once a week, you do a partnered webinar every Friday, once a week for 50 weeks out of the year, and you take 2 weeks off. Maybe Christmas falls on a Friday and New Year's falls on a Friday like it did last year, okay? 50, and let's say each of those people has an average of, let's just call it 8,000 followers, right? So 50 times 8 is 400,000, right? It's actually 4 million. So 4 million total people you're getting access to over the course of 1 year. 4 million people, and you're partnering on an offer with these people every single time, and you're not spending a single dollar on paid ads. So by the end of that year, if those webinars are closing at a 10% close rate, 400,000 people have bought that combined mega offer. And here's the cool thing, half of that's yours with no expenses out of pocket. So if that's a $3,000 offer, I mean, you're looking at, what is that math? $12 million in gross revenue, 6 million of which are yours. Doing one webinar a week, not even teaching all of it yourself, and partnering on the fulfillment where you have an offer, they have an offer, they get both. How sick is that? So when it comes to promoting, don't think you have to do it all on your own. Yes, you should build your own brand, but the second and probably the easiest way to make that brand really profitable is these partnerships with people who have, good audiences, 8,000 people, 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, but not relying only on your own efforts, getting people to work with you on a one-time basis. And by the way, if you work with somebody and you're like, man, I really like this, just do it a couple more times throughout the year. Come up with a new angle, come up with a new offer, make the offer more attractive. There's so many different things you could do. So yes, post yourself, do your own stuff. Number 2, partner up with people, do a webinar once a week for 50 weeks. It will absolutely change your life. And then the third thing is build a community. So, and this actually ties really well into the webinar side of this, which is everybody that buys from you should be automatically added into some kind of community, either for, a month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And the best way to do this is to have it be like, if you have a school community as an example, you have free, you have like whatever the regular membership is, and then like the VIP membership. Get them in for that first month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, get them in at that middle tier that they would have to pay $100 or $200 or $300 a month for. Bring them into that tier so they get access to a bunch of bonuses that otherwise they would have to spend, if you're charging $200 a month, an extra $2,400 for. So that's, by the way, on the selling side of the webinar, that helps you to sell more of your offer on the webinar because it adds $2,400 in value to the customer, and still it costs you $0 to fulfill on, you're already doing the work. So number 3, having a community is not just an advantage for the people that are buying from the webinars or people that are buying from you or your sales team one-on-one, but what it also does is it gives you another stream of income, typically recurring income, and the workload for that is pretty simple. I tend to look at school in the simplest version possible. I'm like, okay, you need to post once a day. You should continue to upload courses or modules to your courses in the classroom. You should do 1 or 2 live calls per month. When you get to a certain size, it makes more sense to go up to like once a week, because some people won't be able to make the 1 time a month you're doing it if you're only doing it once a month. But you just test it, right? So it's like the fulfillment's easy. 1 post a day, few new lessons per month, and 1 live call. And then as you scale, you could bump it up to 2 every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks is fine. If somebody needs more than every 2 weeks, it's because they're using the classes, the live calls, to avoid doing real work. But this is the simplest thing. If you guys want to help people, by the way, and I'm going to leave you guys with this, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell button. Trust me when I tell you guys, what you're seeing in this video is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much stuff I have planned and have already put out for you guys to really scale up your coaching offers and your sales and your coaching businesses. But here's the thing, look, if you are a good person and you figured out how to solve a problem, don't be scared to promote it. In fact, don't even be scared to be pushy. Like, people have to be pushed. They have to be pushed to grow. People do not grow. The majority of people do not grow unless 1 or 2 things happens. 1, somebody pushes them, or 2, they hit rock damn bottom. And if you don't push them and you allow them to hit rock bottom, that basically makes you a bad person. So when it comes to promoting, when it comes to selling, a lot of you guys, you have to shift your mindset, that your mindset isn't, oh, I don't want to be pushy. Your mindset is, hey man, I'm trying to change this person's life. If I'm not pushy, they might hit rock bottom. Their whole life might fall apart because I'm not pushing hard enough. To hell with that. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to help this person, because if I don't, I'm basically a bad person. So don't feel like, oh, if I'm selling, it's bad, then I have to sell this. That's what happens. People who aren't invested don't get a return. They have to spend money before they're going to take it serious, especially for those of you that are in the business space. If it's free, they're never going to take it serious. Business owners especially, they have too much stuff on their plate. The free stuff falls through the cracks. The paid stuff gets paid attention to. I love you guys. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I see you on the next video.